What is up, strong as women? I decided to make a Loom video today so that I can share my screen with y'all as we chat about hormones, belly fat, and what we can do to regulate and manage our cortisol. So if you have not yet watched my previous videos, live series that I did on belly fat and cortisol, I highly recommend starting there. You should also already have this cortisol belly cheat sheet that came along with that training. If not, let me know and I'll send this your way because this is very straight to the point, gives you simple things to follow, how to identify if you have chronically elevated cortisol and what the hell to do about it, okay? So I'm going to dive a layer deeper today beyond this. But first of all, let's just talk about the symptoms very quickly because cortisol is a hot topic in nutrition and health. People are talking about it all the time. People are very scared about their hormones. It can feel overwhelming and out of control. And I did talk about this in my previous video, but sometimes there's a lot of fear and myths and stress around this topic because we feel like as we get older, our hormones are just going to turn on us. We are going to be their victim and we're going to gain fat. It will be stubborn. We won't be able to lose it. We're going to feel like crap and there's really nothing we can do about it. And that is furthest from the truth. So hormones are largely impacted by your lifestyle. I am going to dive into the lifestyle things today. I am not an endocrinologist. I am not a naturopath. I am not a hormonal doctor. If you feel like you need a layer deeper, like, hey, my hormones feel completely out of whack. My body has flipped 360. I don't recognize who I am, what's going on. Talk to your doctor and advocate for yourself. It can be very hard to have a doctor agree to send you for testing, but it's your body. We need to advocate hard for ourselves in the system. So ask to have your levels checked, your hormones checked, ask to be referred to an endocrinologist and fight for yourself. In the meantime, pay attention to this, see if any of this resonates with you, and then first try with lifestyle, right? No matter what we're dealing with, always approach it with what is in my control? What can I do lifestyle related? So let's dive into it. The symptoms of chronically elevated cortisol, weight gain, especially belly fat, both the internal, visceral, very dangerous belly fat that lays on your organs, and the external, very annoying belly fat that is stubborn and sometimes hangs over your yoga pants. All right? Both kinds are impacted by cortisol. If you notice a change in your body shape as you get older, as you start to approach menopause, perimenopause, after having babies, just as life goes, and you're like, hey, my belly never used to be like this. This is very specifically stubborn belly fat. There is a very good chance it's related to cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. So again, let's not get scared and freaked out. Let's relate it back to stress, lifestyle, and what we can do about it, because there is a lot we can do about it. I digress. Weight gain, especially belly fat, sleep disturbances, waking up tired, waking up at ungodly hours of the morning, like me and Kelsey were talking about, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., why am I awake? Can't go back to bed. It could be cortisol related. Mood swings, anxiety, irritability, low sex drive, low libido, increased appetite and cravings, especially for things that are not as aligned. So chocolate, chips, fried foods, digestive issues and bloatings, and irregular menstrual cycles. I'm not going to go into all of this. I will send you this PDF if you do not have it yet. Here are the very specific foods, specifically for hormonal health and stabilization. Chocolate is on there. All right, what can we do about this? What do we need to focus on besides what's in that cheat sheet? We're going to dive a bit deeper. Sleep. Sleep is so tied to hormones. Sleep is tied to every single function in your body. Digestion, muscle building, cognition, mood, stress. Everything is going to be impacted by sleeping. We need to sleep. One of the most important things is sticking to a consistent sleep schedule. So setting a sleep time, setting a wake time. That's actually more important, research proven, that you go to bed and wake up, around the same time of day. That is more important than how many hours of sleep you're actually getting. So if you get less sleep, but it's like I'm in bed by 9, I'm up by 4 or 3, or that's a crazy time to wake up. Don't know why I'm suggesting that. Anyway, it's because I go to bed at 9 with my toddler and I don't have a good sleep. You need to set consistent times. If that's a habit you can get into, it's going to change your world. All right. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. This sounds so obvious, but how many of us lay in bed scrolling, doom scrolling our phone, Or, maybe ordering things, you're filling up the cart, you have blue light staring into your eyes until the second you go to bed. You're stressing, even if you don't know you are, because scrolling is stressful. All sorts of things are popping into your brain. Like, put that phone away, put it in a different room, get those blue lights out of your eyes before bedtime, and then do something relaxing, like reading a book, or laying in bed talking to your partner, or just meditating, breathing. Like, do something that is calming, chilling. Don't be staring at a phone. Don't be doom scrolling. Goes into my second point, limiting screen time. Make your environment comfortable. We do want our sleep environment to be primed so that our animal brain, can tap into evolution. We would sleep in a cold, dark cave. That's the kind of room we want. And again, we didn't have screens staring in our eyes at night. There was no light. It was cold. It was dark. It was a cave. It was silent. It was very boring. We want to make that type of environment for ourselves. Again, this is going to impact your belly fat. This is not just about sleep. This is about holistic health. Waking up, feeling good. It's so important to have a bedtime routine. People love morning routines. I care more about what you do before you go to bed, because that's going to dictate how you feel in the morning. And you probably don't need an intensive morning routine if you're just having an amazing sleep, right? It's going to change your life. Avoid heavy meals and caffeine before bed. If you're hungry, eat. Don't go to bed hungry. Don't cut yourself off at 7 p.m., but avoid a very heavy meal, right? So try to have dinner at least 3 hours before bed. Then if you need a little snack, have at her. I love Greek yogurt before bed, or cottage cheese. Something high protein. Limit your naps. It's up to you. I wish I could nap, but yeah, if you are going to nap, have a power nap and have it earlier in the day. Practice mindfulness and deep breathing. And do not drink a bunch of water before you go to bed, because that is one thing I hear a lot is I keep waking up to pee. That's very disruptive to your sleep. That is impacting your hormonal health. That is impacting your body's ability to digest and repair and set you up for a good day the next day. I put a link here for the animal chronotype test because it is very interesting to practice self-awareness. We are all one of these 4 chronotypes: a bear, a lion, a dolphin, or a wolf. This relates to your natural kind of circadian rhythm within yourself. So it's so important to use the way that you are already set up as a human, to roll with it instead of fight against it. So for example, the lion, I believe, is the one that wants to get out of bed roaring. Definitely, yes. And go to the gym 4 a.m. The wolf ain't doing that. The wolf is up late at night being creative, tapping into that, wolfy nighttime magic. The bear, which is me, is just going to slowly wake up. The bear is going to want to be left alone in the cave to drink the coffee, slowly wake up to the day. Around the afternoon is when energy is peaking. Right now, that's why I'm working right now. This is when I want to work. I don't want to work at 7 a.m. and I don't want to work at 7 p.m. I want to maximize my natural cycle, which is like midday. And then I want to wind down before bedtime. So it's very important to kind of be self-aware. What is your chronotype? And it's fun. So there's a link to the test there. Now, these are the specific foods. Already dived into these. Sleep, so important. Foods are massive. We talk about in our coaching program, protein, overall calories, fiber. This is getting deeper into what specific foods support your hormonal health. So leafy greens, fibrous foods, meat, dark chocolate, magnesium. Take a read over those and make sure you're including those foods. That's going to make a massive difference. So macros are important. Micros are extremely important as well. I always like to say macros are the gas to your tank. They're the fuel. Micros are the oil. You need it for everything in your system to run properly. Now, stress. Cortisol is the stress hormone. So we cannot talk about stubborn belly fat, out of whack hormones without addressing the fact that we are living in an extremely stressful society, hustle mode, right? We all wear our busyness as a badge of honor, and we don't take time to chill the F out, to manage our own stress, and to be in our parasympathetic nervous system. So quick rundown on the 2 nervous systems. We have sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. When our cortisol is spiked, we are losing our libido. We are losing our sleep. We may even be losing our hair. We're gaining belly fat. We are stressed out humans. We are living in the sympathetic. We are living in the fight or flight. Now, Of course, we need fight or flight to survive, right? So a lot of times people describe it as like what happens to your nervous system if you see danger. If a lion jumps out of a bush, we are evolved to react to that. It is healthy. Stress is not unhealthy in itself. It's going to keep us alive. In those situations where a lion jumps out at us, someone's trying to rob you, whatever, right? Things are happening. You need to be able to react. When we are stuck living in this stressed state of mind and the external does not warrant that, right? Like we're just stressed all the time. There's no lion about to attack us, but we just feel that way. That's going to elevate our cortisol. So we need to learn, how do we get out of that fight or flight and get into the rest or digest or the breed or feed, which I love, right? You're eating, you're breathing, you're digesting, you're having sex, you're feeling good, right? You have happy hormones flowing through your body. You're not running away from an imaginary tiger. How do we tap into that parasympathetic system? Again, we live in a society that is very high stress. So if you resonate with these things, it is no fault of your own. But we need to find ways to help us exit this hustle culture mentality and just chill the F out, right? So that we can thrive in our own bodies and in our own lives and feel good about ourselves. So here are some tips. I love the box breathing one. It is something you can do instantly at any time during the day, hopefully, many times a day. So just breathing in for 4 seconds, holding that breath for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4, holding that for 4. Instant calm. You can also practice the parasympathetic sigh, which I love, which is 2 short inhales followed by a very long exhale. This is something you can do instantly if you're feeling stressed, anxious, anxiety, panicky. You're about to go on a stage, you're on a date, whatever it may be. Something's happening in your world. So go. 2 quick inhales through the nose, 1 long exhale. That both energizes you and helps put you into parasympathetic instantly. So we need to find ways to chill the F out. Only you know what feels good to you. It could be gratitude practice. It could be singing and humming. The simplest thing to stimulate your, I forget how to say this, vagus nerve, okay, to literally switch the state of your parasympathetic system instantly, right? Again, don't beat yourself up for being a stressed out human. Find ways to deal with it. Find ways to cope with it that are healthy for you. Engage in gratitude. This is amazing for me personally. I can be in my head. I can be stressing about a million things. Bringing it back to what I'm grateful for does wonders for my mental health and for my nervous system. Suddenly you're breathing deeper, you're chilling, you have a little internal smile because you're like, I'm actually really blessed, right? And just taking that moment to step out of whatever else is going on in your head and tapping into gratitude can do wonders. If you can start your day with it, end your day with it, do it on your lunch break, like find a way to habit stack that into your day. Huge game changer. Find a weekly or monthly practice that is just for you. And in here, I talked about floating because I love it. I don't know if any of you have tried it. You are in a sensory deprivation tank. It sounds really scary if you're claustrophobic. I thought I would hate it. You're just laying there for like 75 minutes alone in the dark, floating, body temperature water. You're going to zen out. You're going to walk out of there in a different state of mind. You're completely in your parasympathetic nervous system. Maybe for you, it's yoga. Maybe for you, it's a nature walk. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's just like hugging somebody for a good solid 10 seconds. Maybe it's calling your best friend on the phone, journaling. Take a minute and think, what is it that helps you feel amazing, tap into that relaxed state of mind, and just ditch your stress for a minute. A quote I love is, evolving requires elimination. You know, when we want to change as a human, when we want to step into a happier version of ourselves, we have to eliminate some things along the way. I didn't put this in here, but I just thought of it. A lot of times stress is the result of overwhelm. It's the result of saying yes to too many things. So what can you get rid of? What can you say no to? If you're like, I don't have time to meditate, my life's too stressful, I have too many responsibilities, there's too many people depending on me. Well, what can you get rid of on that list? What can you delegate to someone else? What can you just say no to? Right? It's about saying no to these things so you can say yes to your true yeses. Last tip is lift effing heavy. So when we can seek out stress, choose stress, and create healthy stress in our lives, such as going to the gym and lifting effing heavy, we are doing ourselves a massive favor. Life is going to be stressful. If we can, choose some of the stresses and choose stresses that are actually healthy for us, it's going to help us cope with stress better. It's going to raise our stress threshold. So when you work out, you are raising your cortisol levels. Again, watch my first video if you haven't yet, because I talk about how cardio and excessive cardio, I should say, excessive HIIT, too high intensity of exercises is terrible for cortisol health, for hormonal health, if you're already dealing with these issues. But choosing to lift, that has been proven to actually help lower your cortisol. So resistance training, strength training, choosing your stress and fucking connecting, being intentional while you're in the gym, being intentional with your workout, pushing yourself, not to the point of injury, but pushing yourself to the point of intensity where you are training hard. You are choosing a very stressful thing for your body. You're going to feel a million times better when you leave after that. Okay, I'm going to send you all this document. Someone is knocking on my door. Let me know if this is helpful. And remember that stress is directly linked to cortisol. Stress is directly linked to lifestyle. There are so many things that we can control in this equation. So you do not need to feel like it is out of control. Hope this is helpful. Let me know if this is valuable. Have a great day.